This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Umar Sadiq. Umar, first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, we've had a brief chat off camera. I think lockdown's certainly been a lot more kinder to you than what it has been to me, mate.
100. As you come on the screen, I was thinking, who's this?
Unfortunately, I think many people are thinking that at a minute. But how have you found lockdown yourself, mate? What have you been up to kind of occupy your time?
Staying ready. That's what I've been doing. Clearly not what Lerrone's been doing.
How have you found it kind of training away from your usual environment of being able to go into a gym? I know gyms have just opened back up, but until a couple of weeks ago, how did you find kind of trying to keep yourself fit and sharp?
Fortunately, the weather was all right, wasn't it? And because of that, I was able to train outdoors most of the times. And then the times when I couldn't go outdoors, I just trained indoors. So I was doing, Zoom sessions with my strength conditioning coach and just making sure I was shadow boxing. And yeah, I was covering all angles, man. So I'm ready to go. That fat boy Lerrone's not.
Obviously, you're very excited to talk about it, Umar, so we'll get straight into it. The Lerrone Richards fight. Just talk to me first and foremost how it all came about, because I'm sure even yourself, you wouldn't have expected it to have happened so soon after the Cody Davis fight. But in itself, it's obviously a brilliant opportunity for you to go on to win that title and go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, man. So I won the Davis fight, and I thought, I might have one more fight in the British, or if it gets vacated, then I might get a shot. Then I went on holiday, as I do after a fight. I got back, and then I got a phone call from Frank Warren Promotions asking if I'd fight Lerrone Richards for the British and Commonwealth. I said, hell yeah. And so obviously the next question was when? And they said 17th of April was supposed to be. Mind you, this was I think this was first week of March. No, second week of March. And it said to me, would you fight on 17th of April? And I thought about it. I went, yeah, go on then, let's have it. So I've just come off a fight with Cody, hard fight. I've gone away for a week, come back, and the following week I'm being asked to fight Lerrone in about 5 weeks. And I was just like, yeah, let's do it. This is what I mean by stay ready, yeah? And then obviously, before we got to announce it, lockdown, Corona, the full works, all of that. But what I did was I just stayed ready throughout. And then as we've come out, Frank Warren's announced these 3 shows. The first one is the 10th of July. Today's the 1st of July. And the idea was to have, each show, I think either 1 or 2 weeks after each other. So that would put Lerrone and I in and around the 1st of August. And I was ready from the get-go. I would have been ready for the 10th. But Lerrone sat on a call with me, with Kugan Cassius, and said that he'll be ready in 2 weeks. But he's not. The guy's a liar. The fight's been pushed back by a couple of weeks because Lerrone needs as much time as possible. And would you believe it? This guy sat here, looks me in my face through camera, and said that he believes he's world level and I'm domestic level. But now he needs even more time to get ready for a domestic fighter. But not only that, he also doesn't want to put his British title on the line anymore. But you're meant to be this world level fighter. What are you scared of? Anyway, that's why I'm animated. And I just think the guy's very selfish. He's only thinking about himself. He clearly has no discipline. He was talking about I was talking about he's going to come into this fight with a lot more about him because now he's a champion. He's got something to prove. And he's like, don't question that. Don't question that. Don't get it twisted. My motivation and my commitment has been the same since I started. Well, it's been poor since you started because you didn't stay in shape through lockdown. If you're that disciplined and committed, you would have stayed in shape like I did, like a lot of other fighters did. But he didn't. And the selfish guy wants to push it back as far back as possible. There are 9 other fighters in that show. So obviously I'm the 9th, and then there's 8 other guys because 5 fights per show. And now all of us have got to change our camps up, push it back by 2 weeks, make adjustments because Lerrone Richards wasn't ready.
That's quite a few things for me to try and digest and to work through there, Umar. Let's start off with the date. So when do you actually expect the fight to go ahead?
Well, we were working on a 1st of August date. Then Matchroom announced a show on that date, and the British Boxing Board's only allowing 1 show per day. That being said, where it's just a TV show behind closed doors, it could be on a Friday, it could be on a Thursday, whatever. So, that was fine. We could have just gone a day or 2 either side of the Matchroom show. So I was still hopeful of that. And then recently, you know, I've been hearing on a grapevine, Lerrone's team are asking to push the fight back as far as possible because he wouldn't have enough time to get ready. But he sat here, I don't want to swear, he sat here and was like, yeah, I'm ready to go in 2 weeks. Fat boy, you are not ready. But it is what it is. I'm ready all year round. I was going to fight him on 5 weeks notice the first time round. And so, you know, the reality of the situation is the longer he makes it, the worse it gets for him because the stronger I get. So it is what it is.
Do you think he was surprised to have seen you then and to have seen how confident you were and how prepared you were for the original dates you did have in mind? And that's kind of made him think, maybe I do need a bit more time. Do you think that's played on his mind and his own decision to try to push the fight back?
I think he's completely delusional. And when we had that head-to-head, I asked him a few questions he couldn't answer. He's probably had to go back and question a lot of things he was made to believe. And reality is just setting in with him and his team, because otherwise they won't be asking not to pull towels on the line. They won't be asking to push it back. What else is there to read into that? You know? So I think reality is hitting home, and that's none of my business. I just want to beat him up, knock him out ideally, and keep it stepping.
Was you surprised at all? You mentioned that he's not in shape and he's trying to push it back. Was you surprised at all to see that for yourself?
I'm quite indifferent to it. I'm very indifferent. So long as the fight's still going on, that's it. You know, the contracts have been signed. He's got to fight me. Like, he signed the contract now. And if it doesn't, you know, there'll be financial penalties or whatever. And if he tries to pull an injury card, pull an injury card. You've signed the fight. I'll wait for you. It's okay. But the fight's happening. Whether you want it now or later, all you could do is postpone what's inevitable. I'm going to beat you up. So it is what it is.
Are you feeling frustrated because of the fact that it's kind of been prolonged by the fact that Lerrone's wanted to push the fight back? Has that frustrated you? Has that made you kind of a lot more eager and keen, to get back into the ring as soon as possible?
How can it? How can it? It's giving me more time to prepare. How can it frustrate me? Thing is, I'm ready now. It's just that the more time it gives me, the more prepared I will be. You know, so where before I might be saying, you know, could go points, get it wide, probably stop him. The further back he puts it, the more I'm like, I'm actually going to knock this guy out. You know, so it's all he's on doing. I mean, of course he needs it because he believes he's going to be better. But the very best, he reckons he's going to be just as good as he was when he boxed Lennox Clark. And I told him, I said, the Lerrone Richards that boxed Lennox Clark gets knocked out by Umar Sadiq. So if he's trying to come on that tip, he's pissed. But I still struggle to imagine a version of him that gives me any real trouble, to be fair. Of course, it's a fight, isn't it? You've got two skillful people in the ring. There are going to be times when I'm going to have to figure things out. And I'm going to figure them out. But I don't think he's got it in him to figure things out. And I'm going to ask a lot of questions in the ring. So,
who do you think there's more pressure on, yourself or on Lerrone?
On him? Why do you think I'm like this? I'm cool, bro. I'm the underdog. I'm the guy that wasn't meant to beat Cody. And it was a fluke, apparently, because he was weight drained or whatever. And then I'm the guy that needs more seasoning to fight Lerrone Richards, apparently. So, and he's a champ. So where's the pressure? There's none. The pressure's all on him. He's the one who's got to defend his title because he thinks he's world level. He's put it out there now. So, bro, like, you got to show people something. And, you know, when I'm breaking you down in the ring, when I'm hitting you and it hurts more than you thought, when I'm not there to be hit back, when I'm hitting you when you think you're out of range or when you think that I'm not in a position to punch, all of that, you're going to start thinking to yourself, oh, damn, like, this is harder than I thought. And, you know, he's going to start thinking to himself, gosh, like, does that mean Uma's world level? Or maybe I was just gassing myself up. Like, I'm going to ask him all these questions in the ring. Anyway, the point is, the pressure's all on him. There's none on me, as you can tell. He's the guy that's expected to win. I know people personally that I've seen, well, actually, they're not my friends, but like, I've seen people in person and, you know, they've wanted to share their opinion in the fight and stuff. And I'm just asking them, like, look, just be honest, be straight up with me. And they're like, oh, do you know what, honestly, I see Lerrone, like, I'm leaning towards Lerrone. And I was like, cool. And they go, no, this don't mean I mean harming you. I'm like, no, you're just giving your honest opinion, like most people did with Cody, you know, so it's fine. I'm okay with it. What I'm trying to say is, I say that to say the pressure's on him. He's the one expected to perform. I'm expected to, I don't know, but I know what I'm expecting of myself, which is a dominant performance. So yeah.
You said earlier on in your answer there that if you was to win, then you're going to kind of, is Lerrone going to doubt himself and his own world level credentials? Is he going to be thinking, is Umar a world level fighter? If you're victorious, you pick up the belts. Where do you think it leaves you in the boxing world? Where do you think your career goes on the back of a victory against Lerrone Richards?
It puts the entire super middleweight division on notice, domestically at least. I think, again, because a lot of people are picking him to win, when I dominate him, they're going to have to think back to themselves, okay, maybe we don't really understand this Umar guy. You know, I'm different in pretty much every fight. It's very difficult to watch any two fights of me and see the same style fighting. And that's because I just adapt to whatever's in front of me. So, and I think a lot of people, because most people, what you see is what you can kind of expect next time out. People look at what they've seen with me and they think, oh, you know, we've got the answers, or this is what he brings to the table. But what they fail to realize is it's very unlikely I'm going to fight Lerrone like I've fought anybody else. And you will see that. But maybe I do fight like I've seen somebody else. It depends what I see when I get in the ring. But the point is, I think it puts the super middleweight division on notice. It makes boxing fans recognize that I am the number one guy because he's respected and he's the favorite in this fight. So I have to get my accolades for it. And then after that, it'll just be a matter of sitting down, speaking to my team and working out what's best to do, whether it's best to move on or if I need to hang around at this level for a little bit longer. I mean, I'm easy, man. I just want people to get lined up, make the fights make sense, make the money make sense. I just need to keep winning. And me being world level is inevitable. I'm yet to be there. I'm very grounded. I know where I'm at. I have the potential to be world level. I'm getting there. But so far, I can only claim to be domestic level. So he was right about one thing.
One thing I haven't asked you yet about it all, Umar, is in your own mind, how does the fight play out when you're both in the ring?
I just beat him up. I could just see myself. I know I say this all the time, and it makes it very binary, but I see boxing. I hit him, he can't hit me. I'm hurting him, he can't hurt me. Either his will breaks and I stop him, or he finds something that keeps him going through to the last bell. But I mean, if the guy wants to push the fight back because he's not fit, Andre Ward, one of the fighters I admire, he's mentioned this about Kovalev before the second fight. He said, in between camps, you're not living a life. So when it gets tough, I can keep this going. It's in me naturally. You just got ready in a 12-week camp or whatever it is for a fight, and that can only carry you so far. So once the energy from the camp that you've built up starts to fade, what's left is who you really are. Now, if the guy hasn't got himself ready through lockdown, if he's been having blasé sessions and playing PlayStation, which I'm sure is what he was doing, eating crap, then when the fight gets tough, I live here. I have condos here. I rent properties in this uncomfortable zone. This is where I live, whereas he's a visitor. So, you know, it'll be my home ground then, wouldn't it? So I'm just gassed. I'm excited. Like him pushing it back has just made me more confident.
One thing I've just kind of picked up on there is you've mentioned that you've always been able to stay ready. You always had that mentality of keeping yourself fit, keeping yourself sharp. We all see with fighters kind of how tough it can be to keep the discipline, to stay sharp and to stay on weight and amongst other things. We know how difficult a sport it can be on that side of it. What is it about yourself that has allowed you to stay so focused on the task at hand and has allowed you to stay in camp effectively through lockdown?
First of all, I naturally have a health consciousness anyway. So with or without boxing, I'll be in shape. Not necessarily fight shape, but I'm in good shape. I'll stay healthy. And the second thing is, I genuinely want to be the best in the world. So unless I think I'm currently the best in the world, even then I become my own competition. But unless I think I'm currently the best in the world, there's a lot of work to do. So how dare I sit around when I could be working on my craft and then come out and claim to want to be the best? You know, I have to honor that. I've got to do the work. It's one thing saying it, it's another thing desiring it. But when it's all said and done, what's real is what's real. And, you know, so you got to do the work. I'll do the work. I'm committed.
Umar, Lerrone's obviously recently teamed up with Dave Caldwell. What did you make of that?
I think because he believes he's world level, he believes he needs a coach that has trained fighters at world level, i.e. world champions. But the reality of the situation is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It really doesn't matter who's in his corner. When it's all said and done, I'm getting in the ring with him. He's getting in the ring with me. Whoever's outside is irrelevant. And I mean, what's anyone, not just Dave, like what's anybody going to teach him in what, we got 7 weeks now. I guess they've been training together for a few weeks. So let's just say 12 weeks. What's anyone going to teach him in 12 weeks that he's going to bring into a 12-round fight with me? Nothing. He's going to have a few tricks. They may or may not work, whatever, but it's going to be irrelevant. Like, it really doesn't matter. He needed a coach. He got one because he was with Ishmael Salas, who's in America, ain't coming down for this fight, understandably. And so he needed a coach, and he went with Caldwell, and that's that. He needed a coach. That's all I say about it. But it changes nothing about the fight.
What did you take away from his victory over Lennox Clark?
That he's domestic level. Yeah, I mean, I was there live. It was a close fight. Lennox pushed him quite hard. And let's face it, Lennox is a guy who had 7 unlicensed fights and then started professional boxing. Yeah? I'm a guy who had 45 amateur fights, only had 9 novice fights. From my 10th fight onwards, I was boxing at elite level. So I was fighting the best in the country, the best internationally, represented England, represented Nigeria. I was a Nigerian 2016 Olympic team. I've done my bit. I've trained around different places. I've been in different environments, all that lot. But I've had to be in fights where I'm up against someone else who's an elite fighter, and I've had 3 rounds to suss them out and win. And I've had to learn my craft hard. No offense to Lennox, but he's fought 7 unlicensed fights and then 10 professional. So, and he's smaller than Lerrone. He's shorter than Lerrone. He's a slick boxer. So if a shorter guy, without the schooling that I've got, was able to push you to the wire, what on earth do you think is going to happen when I get in the ring? You know, I don't know if his team have been asking themselves these questions. I don't think they are, actually. They're very binary, is the way I look at it. Lerrone's undefeated, Umar's not, therefore Lerrone beats Umar, that kind of thinking. But, you know, come fight night, I'm going to beat the truth into all of them. So I am a bit gassed, actually. I am a bit. I'm buzzing. I think I'm buzzing. And obviously this whole thing about him pushing the fight is recent. Most fighters would be frustrated. I'm not. It's just, literally, I'm just looking at it like, oh my God, I've got 2 extra weeks to get even stronger and fitter. And there's no risk of overtraining. Like I said, I live this life. I know when I need to pull it back and push it forward. So there's no risk of overtraining either with the extra 2 weeks. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be better.
Umar, moving on, or well, moving back rather, I just wanted to kind of reflect on that Cody Davis victory. It was a very impressive performance and an impressive win. How much did that mean to you?
On what level?
So obviously, after the Chelly fight, you went through that 6-fight victory spell before Cody Davis. And I remember you saying to me that financially there was nothing in it for you. It was a difficult period, but you had to go through it to get back to where you are now. You know, you're getting ready to fight for a British title. How much did it mean to you to defeat Cody in such an impressive fashion and to kind of, I suppose, take a weight off your shoulders to show that all the hard work did pay dividends in the end?
I've never given this real thought. The thing that comes to mind when you first asked, I just wanted to be clear, was it meant that I had to be taken serious again. Like, I was back, and I think I said that in the ring after the fight. I was like, I'm back, because it's like I just beat a top prospect who was favoured to beat me, and I've done it in good fashion, like you said. I'm back. So I knew I was going to get opportunities going on from there, and obviously now I've got the British title opportunity. But what it means on a deeper level is that my self-belief is very well placed. So even when I lost to Zach, I was vocal about it. I was like, guys, like, that was not me in the ring. Like, some shit happened. And I'm going to go away. I'm going to fix it. It's going to be hard. And, you know, it's testament to my character. I went away, put my head down, grinded hard. Like you said, I was fighting in shows where I was making no money, sometimes even at a loss. And I just had the faith of knowing that so long as I stayed active, I was going to, A, keep working on my craft, keep getting better, and B, eventually I was going to get an opportunity. And the opportunity came with Cody, took it, beat him, and I guess it was some form of, I think retribution is the word. It made all the work and commitment worth it. It was just like, oh, okay, now I'm here. But we got to keep going, you know, because I did all that work to get onto a platform, or to a step, but there's so many more steps to go up. So of course, celebrate every milestone. It was, right, I'm back now, finally. Jeez, that was hard. Now we've got all these other steps to go up, and, you know, fighting, beating Lerrone is another step now, and I'm gonna do it very well, and then we'll move on to the next steps after that.
Umar, before I let you go, something which I know you'll be looking forward to, and something that I'm sure you'll have a few words to share here. A final message to Lerrone Richards. What would you like to say?
You're fat, you're ill-disciplined, you're unprepared, you're shit scared. It don't matter what you say, actions speak louder than words. You've asked not to fight for the title, you've asked to push the fight back, so actions speak louder than words. Me, on the other hand, I'm ready, I stay ready, 6 packs on deck. You probably watched some of my training videos and panicked, or Dave Caldwell's that stepped into your camp and thought, what on earth are you doing? Why are you fighting Umar Sadiq as a voluntary? And why are you doing it so soon? It's probably what's happened. Let's go with that. The point is, you got to take the fight. Don't matter what you do, you're getting beat up. That's it.
Umar, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. But as we've just said those words, as you've just said those words to Lerrone, a final message to everyone who tunes in to watch our interview away from Lerrone and his camp.
To everyone that's been watching the interview, thank you for watching this far. And if you've watched this far, clearly you're interested in what I'm saying. So thank you for that. Follow me on my social medias to see more. Follow and subscribe to Boxing Social. And, you know, just have a good day, have a good time. Appreciate everything that you have and dedicate yourself to your craft. And that's how you ascend. Consistency always wins.
Umar, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. I'm sure I'll catch up with you again soon. Best of luck with the rest of your preparations and stay safe, mate. Thank you, Speak to Boxing Social.
Thank you for having me on, bro.